Hello and welcome back to my craft room. I'm not showing my face today because it's not a pretty sight. Well, it's never that pretty a sight, but at the moment it's got puffy eyes and a red nose and a threatening cold sore, and and I'm sitting here in my pyjamas with my cardigan on, feeling very sorry for myself. I don't know why I'm laughing, it's not funny. But anyway, one of my mantras for this year, for 2023, is finish it. If you started it, finish it. So I wanted to get my second Wreck This journal, this is Wreck This journal in Technicolor, finished. So this was my first Wreck This journal, the original one. I've done a flip through of this. I've done a quick version without all the chat, and I've done a longer version as well. I will leave a link to them below. And this is the newer version, the Wreck This journal in Technicolor. A lot of the prompts, the majority of the prompts were familiar from this one, except there was already colour on the pages, but there were a few new ones as well. So some of the prompts I've let myself off in the interest of getting it finished. If it doesn't appeal to me to do it, I've just taped 2 pages together or torn a page out or whatever, just so that I've got a finished journal. I've got a really exciting online art course starting a week from today, the Badass Art Journal. Badass Art Journal. It sounds funny in English. Badass. I would spell it B-A-D-A-R-S-E, not badass. B-A-D-A-S-S. Anyway, I'm very excited about it, and I was very, very lucky to win a free spot on it. It's being hosted by Tiara Smith, who is one of my heroes in art journaling, heroines. And the teachers look fabulous, the whole idea of it looked fabulous. I really enjoy online art courses, but had decided I couldn't really justify spending the money on them, so to win a free spot, I'm just so excited. And for the first time I'll be doing an online art course since my retirement, and I will have all the time I like to spend on it. So I need to get a few other kind of things out of the way, done and dusted, clean slate, ready for my badass course. Okay, so this is my Wreck This journal. It was a very different experience from this one. This one I did a few years ago. God, that feels heavy now. And you can see how fat this one got. This one didn't get so fat. That's partly because I tore out the pages I didn't like or had done before and didn't have any new ideas for. So without further whiffling and waffling, let's go straight in there. I quite liked this. Cut 2 holes for peeking at people. Oh, I need to stick that down again. You're now a spy. So I cut the holes, but I stuck them back on so you could actually look through them. Cut out a small piece to carry a piece of wreck with you always. I think I've either kept that piece somewhere or I've already incorporated it somewhere else in the book, like a little charm. Make the smallest drawing in the world here. Look, can you see it? Just about. So these are different from the original one. I don't remember any of these. Just a bit of colouring on there. This was an experiment with the here we are, Stuart Semple Changes inks, which had a lot of bright magenta in them that stubbornly insisted on disappearing every time I use it. You can see there's no evidence of any magenta there, but I thought they looked quite cute, so I stuck them on there. Add your own page number. So this is one of only 2 pages that I haven't done yet, and what I've got here, when I finish doing this flip through, I've got these paint pens and I'm going to go through and add page numbers. I left that to the very end because I knew I was going to lose some pages. And now I'm not going to remember what all the prompts were now. I think this prompt is still there. Crack the spine. So the first thing I did was draw this kind of picture of a broken neck, an X-ray of a broken neck, and then I did this contortionist as well. Oh, I can't remember what the prompt was, but I've ended up obviously bigging up the colour red. I love the noise that makes as you turn it over. That's tracing paper with red on it. Can't remember for the life of me what the prompt was. I quite like the page. Can't remember this one either. But I've tried to draw a bottle of ink, Winsor & Newton ink. I love the boxes. I love the designs on the Winsor & Newton ink boxes. Goodness knows what the prompt was, can't tell you. Draw fat lines and thin, so that was the prompt, and I went for a barcode. I actually used the barcode that's on the back of, or you know, for my inspiration, that's on the back of this book and on the back of lots of penguin books. And you can see I've tried to do a rendition of the penguin logo there as well. And I put, so the penguin doesn't usually have a book under its arm, but in this case, oops, sorry for the bubbles, in this case it has, and it's WTJ2, Wreck This Journal. That's my second Wreck This Journal. So yeah, I wanted to make it look like a crayon kind of coming out of the barcode there. I was quite pleased with how that came out. I tried it in the first one and it didn't work out so well. This time I was happy with it. This is another one that I had another go at what I intended to do in the first one. In the first one, the pages ended up sticking together. It all went horribly wrong. I had to adapt. I was happy with how it turned out, but this was more what I had in mind in the first place. So it's for handprints or fingerprints, so I just did lots of fingerprints and then turned them into faces. Colour this entire page. I think I can't remember what, I think this was alcohol inks probably. So I just splodged them about generally and then doodled flower shapes into them, which I'm quite happy with. Now with this one, I can't remember what the prompt was. Something about, oh look, I can just about make out the word found things. I think it was press leaves and found things here or something like that. I didn't want any old manky old things going brown in here, so I just picked out the word leaves and did like a negative painting. A lot of these pages I did video them, and they'll all be in my Wreck This Journal playlist on my channel if you want to see how, and this is definitely one I did video that one. Do some rubbings with a pencil crayon. That's not, in England we don't say, or in Britain we don't say pencil crayon, we would just say a pencil or a crayon. I think a pencil crayon to us would be a coloured pencil. I think that's what they mean. I mean, that's what I used. And I had a whole lot of Fiskars texture plates. I'd forgotten I got them. Look at the brilliant textures you get just by rubbing over them. Yeah, I really enjoyed them. That's one of the many nice things about these kind of prompt books. They get you kind of using supplies and things and tools and things that you've forgotten all about. Scribble wildly, violently, and with reckless abandon. Oh, sorry about my stottiness. So that I just scribbled, and then a bit like neurographic art, I just rounded all the corners. I quite like the look of that white pen against the pink there. It was, even though that was a prompt I think I remember from the previous book, because there was already colour in the background in this version, Technicolor version, it did put a different kind of slant on the prompt. Tear strips of colour, then try some plaid. Now I've combined two pages here, so you can see I've cut strips rather than tear them. This one you can just about see the beginning of it. It says glue, staple or tape these pages together. So I think I used a double-sided tape. Excuse me, I have to blow my nose now. Oh, my nose is getting so sore. So I glued them together there. I wove, I don't think it's probably very clear from the, but you can see that I have actually then torn along here, and then I've woven the strips together. And here I've kind of mimicked that plaid fabric. I've got a badge there saying, "I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay." I think that was an old Monty Python sketch I was remembering there. This prompt was fill this page with coloured circles, as many as you can fit. So I tried two different methods. God, it feels like I can remember doing a video for this one. It feels like such a long time ago now. So this one was with stencils and applying ink with a sponge, I think. And this one was using the same stencil but drawing around them first. I linked to a guy who's got a YouTube channel about coding, computer coding, where he explained how to write the coding to fit as many circles as possible into a space. Yeah, God, that seems like a long time ago. I've been doing this one for a long time. I needed to get it done. Okay, so the prompt for this one was document the colours of your dinner. Well, I didn't want to rub beer and splatter my food and use the page as a napkin. I really didn't fancy that. But I like the idea of, you know, I always do think about the colours of the food I'm eating. There is this saying that you should eat the rainbow to get all the nutrients that you need. And I do quite often think about that, especially when I'm serving up food and when I'm planning what I'm going to cook. So what I did was I just thought of various foods that we use all the time. I've only just realised that I've used egg twice. Look at that. I just found a colour that matched them. Squash, courgette, chilli, aubergine, onion, corn, tomato, lettuce, egg. Obviously eggs very popular. Turmeric, lentil, salmon, olive, cucumber, tomato. Tomato pops up twice as well. Isn't that funny? I never noticed at the time. That brown one just says crispy. Now there's an example where I've clearly taped 2 pages together because I didn't fancy, I think it was chew on this, because I can see warning, do not swallow. I just didn't want to do it again. Some of them I quite enjoyed doing the first time in the first book, but I just couldn't think of anything new that I wanted to try, and I just thought, it's my book. If I want to tear out a page or tape 2 together, that's fine. The prompt for this one was mix so many colours they turn to mud. So I went for the rainbow thing again and made it so that they blended together in the middle and turned into mud. Quite enjoyed doing that. You can see here that I've made the opposite, the complementary colour, so red, green, orange, blue, yellow, purple, green, red. I've made them so that I've had to do the rainbow in the opposite direction so that they meet in the middle and make the mud colour. Yeah, I really quite enjoyed that one. This one was crumple. I didn't have a lot of ideas here. It says tear out, crumple, and I think it said stick back in. Maybe I just thought stick back in. Anyway, I tore it out, crumpled it, stuck it back in with a whole load of masking tape. And then on this side, I thought it'd be quite fun to try drawing. So where you see what looks like crumples here, that's not crumples, that's me trying to draw the crumples with a white pencil on that coloured background. So that's a one I've drawn on the masking tape there as well. So that's a good example where having the colour in the background already maybe do something different to what I would have done otherwise. Make a paper aeroplane. Well, I've cut that up now and stuck it onto the page as a place to keep the aeroplane that I've made. Write some thoughts, cover up these thoughts with the colour of your choice. Well, I've kind of written them in the same colour. Can't even see what they were now. A couple of pages stuck together there. Climb up high, drop the journal. I've got to come back to this one and finish it because I'm really not very happy with it, but I want it to end up with this kind of huge monolith this tiny figure on the top throwing the journal off. So I'm just going to do a little bit more to this one. That is another page, isn't it? Yeah, wrap something up. That is a page with something wrapped up in it. That's the prompt. I can't remember now what it was. This one said compost this page and watch it deteriorate. Now when I did it last time, I tried actually tearing the page out and putting it out in the garden for a few weeks and nothing much happened. It was really disappointing. So I taped the pages back in and drew apple cores and peelings and stuff gradually deteriorating, and I think some worms and things. I didn't feel like doing the same thing again, so what I did this time was tear up some leftover papers and things that I had stuffed in the back of the book and just made it so the brighter ones at the top and they get gradually more and more dark and brown and sludgy looking towards the bottom, which is what a compost heap is like. Oh, I enjoyed this one. This one was with Tamara. Loved this lesson. Now this was part of the Life Book Taster, I think. I'll leave a link to Tamara below. Her lesson with these, how to make these skulls, was amazing. I mean, this is very much my spin on it, but you know, I think hers were way cuter, but you know, I love it. She does a similar kind of weird thing with teeth as well. You just have to, yeah, I'll leave a link to her channel. I must remember that. Anyway, yeah, so the prompt was do a really ugly drawing. When I don't want to see the whole prompt, I just kind of paint over it, but you can still see it. Change your doodling on the back of an envelope while you're on the phone. Well, that is the kind of thing I do while I'm on the phone. Other than that, or I do a lot of eyes. Journal. This was journal golf. Yeah. So I just crumpled up the page and made it into a golf ball. I think you're supposed to put the book like this and tried to shoot the ball through it, but I didn't bother doing that this time. Make a paper chain. I did this very differently this time. So this was the page. I think I used packing tape to give it a bit more stability and make it sort of shiny, and cut along all the perforated lines and made it into a paper chain. And I folded them this way so they would go flat but stay neat, and I quite like how it sort of articulates. This actually said collect fruit stickers here, and I did that last time. I had a mass of fruit stickers, but I don't get them very much these days. They don't seem to come with stickers on anymore, so I've used a red paint pen, blocked out the word fruit. I was going to put collect cute stickers here, cute stickers instead of fruit stickers, so I might still do that. And I've got some of the Squaller Box stickers there, and some of these lovely stickers which are from Emily Arts here on YouTube, Literally Illustrations on Etsy, where you can get these stickers. Use this as a test page, blah blah blah. There's something about use every colour you can get your hands on or something like that. So I was inspired by, I can't remember who it was now, sorry I can't remember, someone else who did the test card for this page. I thought it was such a good idea, so I copied it. She did the one with the, you know, the girl and the teddy bear and stuff, and the chalkboard. I did a bit of a different one. I enjoyed this one. Drip here and close the book. Now I don't think it was written like that, I think I've written it like that probably. It looks like I've used probably acrylic inks and gesso, and yeah, I managed to get some crackage there, which is quite fun. That one I've just like done really quickly because I think I couldn't be asked by that point. Gluing a page from a newspaper and add colour to it. Meh. I think I was getting a bit by then. Cut up tiny bits and glue them here. So these were tiny bits of, at the back of the book there were a few sheets, a few pages that were just blank colours, so I just cut out a lot of bits of them and stuck them down with packing tape. Scribble wildly using only borrowed pens, document where they were borrowed from. I've got something there about borrowing them from John. I don't really see anyone else to borrow pens from, so this probably was John's crossword pens. And then I've extended the hair out and done another kind of neurographic doodle because I was really into that at the time. Still quite into it now, to be honest. Oh, I enjoyed this one. Page of good thoughts. I couldn't think of good thoughts, but I decided to go with a magical creature of goodness, and a unicorn is definitely, oh dear, blow my nose again, sorry, nose blow break. A unicorn is definitely a creature of goodness, and this was a lovely template that illustrator named Casper here on YouTube provided. He was making like a mobile for his niece, I believe it was, and he provided a downloadable template of the unicorn. I just thought it was so lovely, I decided to use it for this page. Make prints, use whatever you have on hand. So I used a lot of different circular things, probably the insides of things like this, like tape and bottle tops and things like that, and then just again did the neurographic doodling thing, the thing where you round off where the lines intersect, you round off the corners, all the angles. I find that quite addictive. Let the colours run. That looks like alcohol inks and on gesso again. By putting a coat of gesso on first, it lets them run better, otherwise they would just soak straight into this paper. Oh, this one. I think it does still smell a bit, but I can't really tell because my sense of smell isn't what it usually is. But the prompt was infuse this page with the smell of your choosing. Now that's my handwriting, not the prompt, so I've obviously written that back in. But this is 4711, which is a cologne, and the smell of this cologne takes me right back to very happy days in my childhood with my granny, and who loved 4711. And this is like the colours, that gold on teal and black thing. This is the colours of their label. Tear this page out, put it in your pocket. I think that was put it through the wash and stick it back in, so I just stuck that back in randomly wherever. Colour outside of the line, so there was just a circle there. I've gone over it in black. I didn't really like the red that a lot of the writing was in this book, so I kept going over it in red. And I just coloured everywhere except inside the line. Close your eyes, connect the dots of memory. Not very interesting. I added some highlights to try and make it look a bit more, and I made it look like a ribbon instead of just lines, just to try and make it more interesting, but a bit meh. I was running out of inspiration by this point. Make drips like Jackson Pollock. Now this is this stuff called, which is weirdly called paper writer or something strange, and I don't know why, because it's clearly plasticky, not papery, but it sets with this kind of like it flattens a bit as it dries, but it stays raised on the surface and very shiny and plasticky looking. And I love that effect, so yeah, I enjoy throwing that around on top of some alcohol inks and things. Draw with scissors. Cut up colours from the back of the book and glue it here. I'm sure it said draw with scissors like so and so, and there was the name of an artist whose name, you see, my head isn't working today. I think he's a French artist who did a lot of pieces like this with cutting shapes out of coloured paper and things. I can't remember now. I really enjoyed this one. I really got into it. Create a drawing using your hair. So I actually made this brush out of a little piece of dowel or a skewer or something I had in one of my pots there, and my own hair. That is actually my own hair there. It was a rubbish brush. It's just way too soft. It might be better for sort of maybe watercolour or something. It didn't work very well for this. I really struggled. It's another one I did film. I filmed a lot of these actually. It's probably quite a long playlist, that one. Resist, this was ages ago, so this is probably one of the earlier ones that I did. And at the time, what was I trying to resist? Probably food, alcohol, anything else I wasn't allowed on the diet I had just started. So I must have started this one about this time last year, I reckon. Did I use a resist? Yes, I think I used a resist technique as well. I used wax crayons and drew the shape of the face first, and then put paint over the top. So yes, it was a resist technique, and it was showing the, resisting temptation thing as well. Punch this page after dipping your fist in something. This is one I didn't film, but I happened to have paint all over my hands at one point. I thought, I'll bugger it, and painted a bit more and punched the page, and then kind of drew the fingers in around it, and again did that kind of neurographic art thing with the intersection. I don't know why, but I don't like this red that appears a lot in the book. Create a colour explosion, tear up some coloured something or other, cover the page with glue and drop it. So I think I started doing that, but ended up with, that was a bit pathetic, and just kept going until it was all covered really. I think I've used Marabou art crayons there, because judging by the colours. Now this one I haven't done yet, but I haven't glued it together or torn it out, because I still think I might like to do it. This page is assigned what do you want it to say. Now I have got some of Stuart Semple's The Blackest Black paint, and some of his glow paint, glow medium as well, and I quite fancy sorry, I quite fancy trying to make a neon sign glowing in the darkness. Oh, I'm going to have to whiz through this now because I'm croaking and starting to feel really poorly. A non-stop line, start to finish. Negativity, can't remember what the prompt was. I was obviously feeling a bit profound that day. Or a bit negative. Instructions I kept. Oh, there's another one there. What was this? Make smudges of colour, rub with your fingers, add water. Yeah, I think I was using those Marabou art crayons. I think we'd got them in the scorer box maybe, and I smudged them around and then made them into a face. Page 4 letter words. I haven't done that yet, but I think I might just do one of those, where you get all the words written in different directions. I forgot what they call that. So I still quite fancy doing that one. Randomly cut, something about randomly cutting bits from a magazine or something, and I just happened to come across the words "come back with fresh eyes." So what I intended to do was stick all these shapes on, go away for a couple of days, come back and see what shapes I could find. And I did that. I thought, I could see houses, I could see cliffs with a water go through it, a ship, but I never came back and did it. I still quite like the look of the page. I'm struggling to speak now. Give away your favourite page. Well, that didn't happen. Cut strips and do a weaving. I used packing tape again here to give the page some resilience and make it more sort of tactile. And I've woven them together there. You can see the weaving obviously shows on the other side as well. Document time passing. I could do something really boring last time. I thought it'd be more fun to do this, but oh dear, I've been recording for ages. Hide a secret message somewhere in this book. I don't think I've done that yet, but it's easy to do, so I'll leave it there. Sleep with a journal. This was one of my favourite pages last time, but this time I can't think of any new ideas, so that might end up getting stuck together. This was one of the first pages I did, I think. Close the journal, write, scribble something on the edges, and I did that. Use all the colours in the crayon box. Guru. RuPaul. Guru. And I think at some point it did say use all the colours in the box, but of course you can't see it anymore as the box has got fatter. If you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? I love watching Drag Race. Oh, this was figure out a way to attach these two pages together, so I've made little paper springs there to attach them together. Splatter, yes you can. And I've done quite a lot of splattering with the Jackson Pollock one, and you know I quite often splatter around. It's not anything, you know, particularly challenging, just making a mess, so I thought I'd draw splatters instead, and I quite like how that came out actually. Collect dead bugs here. No, those are going to get stuck together, I don't want to do that. This one was float this page, so I made a little paper boat, and I'll probably just stick that there. Figure out a way to freeze this page. I just thought I'd make it look like an ice cube. Hide this page in a neighbour's yard. Not bothered about that one. Turn this book into a shoe. I did do that. These are the laces that would enable me to lace the book around my foot and kind of turn it into a shoe. Slide the journal this bit down a long hallway. No, I think a few more of these are going to get stuck together or torn out. Smoosh something colourful onto this page. Now this was the Stuart Semple Changes inks, and this page looked so colourful when I first did it. The disappointing thing about they were so much fun to play with, those Changes inks. The disappointing thing was that after a few minutes or a couple of hours, and certainly after a couple of days, all the magenta disappeared, and this just went just green. That was all that was left. So yeah, it was colourful. What was that? Squirt liquid here. I dripped acrylic inks onto yeah, I've just said the pages first by the feel of it, because otherwise they would just sink straight in. You wouldn't be able to blow them around. So I just said the pages first, squirted ink on, and then blew through a straw. Covered this page in tape, create some kind of pattern. So this was covered in, this tape is still on here, I can still feel it, it's quite tactile. But I think in some areas I took it off, so here I've taken it off. I quite liked that. I couldn't decide what to do, and in the end I just left them on because I quite like the look of it like that. So this one was add a new colour to this page every day for a month. Boring, didn't really do much with that. Fold this page several times and make cuts with scissors, unfold. So I did this, I think, on Valentine's Day. I can fold this up so all the hearts stand out like that. I won't do the last one, but yeah, so you get the idea. That's quite fun. Nearly there now. Cut slits like Lucio Fontana, and I've put all Freddy Krueger because that definitely looks Freddy Krueger-ish. So I had to look up Lucio or Lucio, I don't know, Fontana, because I hadn't heard of him. Ignorant, aren't I? But yeah, quite enjoyed that one. That's just showing through from that page. Filling these shapes with colour, don't like that. If it looks too pretty, please destroy. Well, I might just tear it out because I don't like it. So that's it, and I haven't done anything with that back page. But yeah, I think I'm done with my Reckless Journal now, and I've been waffling on with for 35 minutes. I might be able to cut a bit out, but I will leave a link to my flip through of the previous one as well. So I really enjoyed these. I love prompt books of all kinds, but I did want to clear the decks a bit ready for my online art journal course, badass art journal course, which I'm really looking forward to. So excited about that. I'm really glad that I didn't get whatever this lurgy is this time next week, just when I'm itching to get started. I'm gonna it feels really weird not to be saying goodbye to camera, but I look so gross. I mean, I'm never a particularly pretty sight, but you know, I look particularly gross this evening. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that little flip through. Let me know in the comments, have you done a Reckless Journal or other prompt books? Have you got any others you could recommend to me? Because I really do enjoy them. And remember, there's the Arty Farty Annie group on Facebook where you can share, if you've done anything like this or any other creative projects, please share them with us, because we all love to see what you've been making. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I will see you again really soon.